Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with theblogtree.com. I'm going to show you a handful of watches from a brand called XXL Barcelona. These watches are exclusively distributed in the United States by watchismo.com, and that's where you can go get them. This is an interesting Spanish brand, and they've got a couple of cool watches. There's a lot of them, but I'm going to show you just a handful. Probably their signature piece is this one. It comes in a couple of colors. These are just two, silver dial, sort of metallic orange dial. These are called the Under Pressure Collection watches, which should make a lot of sense given the fact that the case is actually, and the dial of course, is designed after a pressure gauge. This is a really unique watch and it looks really cool. What you'll notice, there's an LCD screen here, a negative LCD screen, and a seconds hand. And if you look at that dial, that goes to 30. So meaning that hand goes around the entire dial every 30 seconds. Now, what I think is really interesting, aside from the design, is that mechanically, this watch has two movements in it. So if you look here on the side, you have a crown and these two pushers right over here. These pushers are to adjust the time on the LCD screen. This crown is for this seconds hand, and you pull it out, and it stops. And then you can start it back up again. So you can use this to time 30 seconds or whatever you like. So it's kind of an interesting thing that goes in sort of concert with this, but it's not connected by the same movement. So you can stop and start this one. Has nothing to do with this one. You know, really these are design pieces. They're supposed to look cool and talk about who the person that's wearing it are. And you know, for me, I think that walking around with a watch like this on your wrist is sort of large. It's a steel case. It's got sort of an interesting look, and that orange hand looks neat. You can tell the time real easily there. Honestly, it's not hard at all. There's no backlight. Yes, that's a side back, but this is, you know, by no means an extremely expensive watch. And this is cool. This is definitely the type of thing that in the right environment I think would be cool to wear. It comes on a leather strap, and it's definitely an interesting piece. Price for these is pretty affordable. They are $160 a piece. Again, that is the XXL Barcelona Under Pressure pieces. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is another model with the same movement. You see there, it's got that LCD screen in there. Now, actually, interesting enough, there are a lot of XXL Barcelona watches with LED, not LCD screens. LED is that bright red sort of digital screen. The problem with LED is it takes so much power to show that backlit red light that it's not on all the time. So if this were an LED, you'd have to push one of these buttons for the time to show up. Otherwise, the screen is blank. This one is not like the LCD, so it's there all the time. Definitely a fashion watch. You don't need all this space, but it's cool. It's kind of retro-y. You have these pushers right here to do that. And, you know, you have a big, it's kind of a dark, kind of a brass-colored look to it. It's not steel. It looks there kind of somewhere between steel and gold in terms of that look. I'd say brass is probably most accurate. It comes on this sort of nice spongy rubber strap, which is nice. It's cool. It's comfortable. That just looks kind of cool. Look at that. You got that 666 logo there, the 3 6s. The screen, interesting style of case. It just looks funky. You know, what are you going to wear to your Devo concert, right? This is definitely something that would go to that. Also, this name of this watch is, for some reason, the James. Why it's called the James, I don't know. A lot of the watches have names of people. They like the letter J. Aside from the rubber strap, you can get this with a metal bracelet that matches the color of the case, and it has a lot of horizontal, vertical links. Price for this piece right here, $150 for this rubber strap. $50 more if you want to get it in gold, in this sort of gold brass tone, or in just a regular steel on a steel bracelet as well. So $150 to $200 for the XXL Barcelona James watch. Next watch is the Megabyte. This is what is called a mysterious hand watch. Let's get into focus there. There we go. The Megabyte. Now, this watch has a quartz movement inside, and there are discs inside that move these hands. We have the hour hand and the minute hand. There's a crown right there, and you can adjust that. I can show you here, and you see moving around. Oh, I messed it up. That's the minute hand. That's the hour hand. Yeah, you'll have to remember when you're wearing it. and you can tell the time, and it's pretty interesting, and it makes a cool look. In the 70s, mysterious hand watches were popular, and this is sort of a resurgence to that. Big steel watch in IP black. This red ring comes in a variety of colors. It comes in the silver, I think it comes in a blue, it comes in something else. I thought the red was sort of a cool popping color. That's a cool watch. I do like that one. That's a neat thing. It's legible, you can read it. People are going to want to know what this is. I guarantee you wear this thing around enough and people are going to be like, what is that thing? Again, they call this watch the Megabyte. I don't know where they come with these names. I think, it's a Spanish thing, right? 666 Barcelona Megabyte watch. This is slightly higher end for them, and by no means, super high end, because this is a very affordable brand. $200 for this piece. I think their prices go maybe $250 on the top. Sort of butterfly clasp right there, closes nicely. This is an attractive piece. This is cool. For $200, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more interesting sort of unique avant-garde piece. Again, that's the Megabyte. Next one we have here, and this is the one I actually like a lot. I like them all a lot, but this is one that I think is interesting. A little bit more traditional, though, in execution here, because you have that three-hand look. We haven't quite seen that yet. This is the XXL Hand. So they have hands. So it's Barcelona. 666 Barcelona is like, oh, we have a watch with hands. Let's describe that. I saw influence from Porsche design here, and if you look closely at some of the font on the numerals here, the colors, it's got this sloped sort of chapter ring in there. It just reminds me of that, and I kind of like it. And what's interesting is, though, you have here, this is the minute scale and the hour scale out here. They're actually spelled out. So right here it says 5, 6, 7, and the color of the hand matches. So the red hour hand matches the red sort of spelled out hours, and the white matches the white there. Black case, it's large. This one has a nice big crown. I like that leather strap, and this watch, another fun piece. I would totally go out to a club with this watch. That would just be a cool club watch. They really like these large square shapes, and I don't blame them. These are supposed to be fun watches to show off, and there's nothing wrong with that. This one looks cool, very sort of retro futuristic look. Definitely fun, definitely fun. Again, this is the XXL Hand watch. Price for this one, again, not expensive at all. This one is $160, and the XXL Hand series actually has a number of different dial styles, so there's a couple of different ones, colors, and the numerals around there are going to be a little bit different in each. This one I particularly like, also on a black leather strap. XXL Hand from 666 Barcelona. One more watch I want to show you from the brand. This is a ladies piece. This is kind of cool. I'm going to show you this thing, and it's got this really, really, really long strap. I don't know how many feet that is. That's a long strap. So this watch, it's a ladies' watch called the John. I don't know why they call it the John. So the idea of this watch, it's actually kind of cool, is so what you would do is, isn't it cool that sort of like a racing stripe looks like the strap goes right through the dial like that? I thought that's cool. So you'd put this on your wrist, right? And then you just wrap it around a bunch of times. I'm not going to do it because it's very feminine. You wrap it around a bunch of times on your wrist. You can imagine that, and then you'd secure it on there, and you have this interesting look that just wraps around and sits on your wrist like that. Couple of different colors and things like that. Great idea. The designers, it's just a great idea. These things are apparently selling very well, and I can totally understand it. It's a big watch for a woman. I'd say this case is at least 45, 46 millimeters wide, so you can see it's the size of a large men's piece. But large pieces are in for women today. I like that the crown is not placed at 3, but at 2. That's kind of cool. Interest on this watch, the hour and minute hand are the exact same length. One is white and one is red. And as you noticed, the brand has a theme. It likes red hour hands, white minute hands. So again, you get the same situation right here. Quartz movement, cool watch. This one was sort of the black and silver with this sort of this white leather strap is one of the cooler ones. And there's a little sort of one of these types of double buckles here, so it's very simple to put it on. It's going to take a little bit longer to put on your wrist, but not hard to do at all. Again, this is the John watch from 666. If you like these watches, you can read more on blogtoread.com. If you want to get them, you can get them at watchismo.com, which is the only place you'll be able to get them right now in the United States. Thanks, and read more at blogtoread.com.